Hi everyone, today I want to talk to you about the Final Fantasy series is one that I first came in contact with in Cuba. I went to somebody's house to play at their Nintendo system. Kind of like a at-home arcade is a thing that people do. It's like a small business that people do in Cuba because not everybody can afford it, so people make money from the system that they have at home. And the first thing that I'm doing here is looking at my shapes, making sure that my perspectives are correct. I am using a reference, and I'm using also the Cloud character sheet from the Final Fantasy VII game, the original, not the sequels or the spin-offs or the movies or anything like that. And I'm gonna use basically I'm gonna apply the Cloud look to this shape from the reference that I'm using. So the very first time that I became aware of the Final Fantasy series was from the original Nintendo box. I was going to people's houses to play on their Nintendos, and like the whole arcade thing you pay to play. I noticed that in the box there was the Final Fantasy commercial, I guess, for the upcoming games, and there was like the warrior and the I think the mage and the white mage and I think a red mage also. And that intrigued me because it was fantasy, and I always love fantasy and magic and that sort of thing. So I had to imagine more or less what that game would play like because we didn't have it at the time. And then eventually I traveled to a different county and at somebody's house where I played Kirby for the first time on the Nintendo. He also had the kid had Final Fantasy, but it was something that was too involved for us to get into like at a paper play kind of thing. So we just watched him play for a little bit, and it was a Final Fantasy One on the Nintendo, and it seemed very hard because everything was in English also. So that was like the first RPG that we were introduced to. After that, I started to learn the language by playing RPGs such as Breath of Fire, but that's diverging. Back to Final Fantasy. So now I define the shape of the profile, and I'm trying to block out the body, adding a little bit more detail with every stroke, just trying to shape the legs more and the body more, trying to get more of the mass of the weight of the character that I have from the reference. The head is too big, so I'm making it smaller, and then I just continue to add detail, and so I can get like the better shape of the character, and I can add more definition to the pose. And then the second Final Fantasy that I was exposed to was the Super Nintendo game Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, which was not the best, but that's what we had. And we had fun with it, even though we knew that there was probably something better out there. But it was what we had. One thing about living under a communist regime is they classify everything that is not made by them as propaganda from the enemy. So we didn't get no commercials, no ads of any kind, not even books or comic books or anything like that. So anything that we had that was comic book related was almost contraband, but not quite. And so the first time that I became aware of Final Fantasy VII was through a toys catalog that somebody from here had brought to Cuba, and we were looking over it, looking at all the toys that we didn't get, and it was right there, Cloud on the classic pose, and also in comic book ads like this one. So from the moment that we saw this ad campaign and we saw Sephiroth with our back turned to us, we thought that he was a she and that she was one of the good guys because we had just that ad and no other context to it. So here, now I am removing all the sketchy lines from the definite figure. If I would have done this on a separate layer, I didn't have to go through this, but I also wouldn't be able to get the lines as fine as I wanted them. I mean, you could go either way. You could do the sketchy on one layer and then pull a layer on top of it and build the actual lines there so you don't have to go to the erasing. But I kind of like having to do it like as if I were doing it on paper. I don't know, it's just, in my head it makes sense. Just do whichever one is more comfortable for you or faster. So fast forward a few years and it's now 2000 and I'm here in the States and I don't have a PlayStation 1 yet. I do eventually get a Dreamcast, which is why I didn't play Final Fantasy VII right away. And eventually I got the game, although I didn't really play it all the way through. I did play most of 9, but it got really challenging at some point and I stopped. I didn't finish it. I do love Zidane and I love the artwork of Final Fantasy 9 and the style. It just is cute and it's very reminiscent of the classic style. And I think I prefer it from the big 3 on the PlayStation 1 era. So I'm just continuing to erase and solidify my lines. So here we go. I sped it up a little bit faster so you can see the final result or the outline of the body. I think the reason I remember Final Fantasy VII first sighting so well is because of the design is so cool. The spiky hair, the big sword, the big gloves, and the big boots. It all like stuck with me. So even though I didn't know what the character name was, I just remember everything like Final Fantasy VII and just from the look alone of that design from Tetsuya Nomura. So here I am trying to get the spiky hair with more flow and trying to get the shape right. Since I use the old design, he doesn't have a lot of hair to the back. I'm getting his armor. I'm getting more detail for the clothes and the gloves. Good stuff. The reason that I'm not drawing the space for the sword right now is because I'm gonna draw it on top of it and I'm gonna mask it in so it looks like he's holding it. But I want to draw like everything underneath it. Though if I draw the sword on top of it, I wouldn't have to. So here I'm getting the big boots and the big baggy pants. This is my first time drawing on more or less on Tetsuya Nomura's way, or trying to do what he does. I think soon I'm gonna do one of Kingdom Hearts so I can draw Sora, which I cosplayed him for Halloween last year, so that was fun. And something funny that happened was that I was dressed as Sora walking around at the block party, and I bumped into a Riku, and it was not planned or anything. It was just fun. So now I'm gonna get more detail on the line work on the hair, the spikiness, and the division on the hair, and make it look more savvy, more detailed. Love Cloud's hairstyle. Fixing some more detail on the body and the shoulder, adding more contrast, more shadows. I really like how the soft pencil, this soft pencil brush that I'm using. I love how it feels when you do the dark shadows. It just is very satisfying whenever you add it for the contrast. I don't know how to explain it. It really does feel like a soft pencil. I don't know. The one Final Fantasy VII game that I did finish was Crisis Core on the PSP. It was amazing, great gameplay, fast mechanics, great playing as Zack, and it gave us more insight also on the backstory and filling some details that we didn't know from before. And that ending, that soul-crushing ending. So here I'm adding more shadows to the pants to create more contrast and bring it up a little more. Also to try to go for the look on the original design that I have that I'm looking at. It also has a little dark contrast on the pants. I'm setting up to do the sword. I'm not even drawing. I'm just using the shapes because it's easier to do that way. See, there you go. The sword is done. All I have to do was shapes. Now I'm actually drawing inside of it, so I can do the details for it. See, adding some roughness so I can do the edge, and then more dark tones on the inside of the blade. The part that's not sharpened. Want to make it a little bit softer, and I'm gonna use a blur tool in a second. So in a moment I'm gonna mask out the sword since I didn't draw it with the rest of the character. So once I'm done doing the blur to blur those details, I'm gonna create a mask on the handle and over the blade so I can cover the hand, but not before I do this little detail right here and fixing that tricep. So I want to get more expression out of the eyes. So I do more emphasis on the brow and on the eyelashes and on the eyebrows. Fixing that little detail on the hair to make it cooler. Adding the nose, fixing a little bit since I didn't like it too big. Adding a little expression to the face. I think I overdid it though. I'll go back to that. So now I'm masking out the sword handle so I can show the hand as if it's in front of it, but it's really not. It's just a mask on the blade. See? So now I have to be really careful masking out so I can get the line work from the hand, so it appears well drawn above the blade. So all done with that masking work, and let's get back to the face in a moment. Yep, it was too much. Let's fix it. There you go, better. Adding more contrast. Adding color to the blade. I'm doing it via a separate layer, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do an overlay from that color. See. And then I merge it to the blade layer, and then I go back with them, put the mask again. I didn't erase the mask. I put it on different layer, and then I added the color, and then I brought back the mask to that layer, to the sword layer. Now I'm just trying to, with the pen tool, I'm gonna get all over the body so I can get like a gray color, so I can color over that only and over that only. I do that so that way when I draw, I can draw a little bit more freely, and I don't have to worry about jumping out of the shape. I just do a transparency lock on that layer, and I can just color and go crazy. So here I am adding color, skin color, hair color, eye color. This is the part that I like the most. I'm trying not to keep saying that, but it's true. I love coloring. I was going by the color on the Dissidia artwork, because the character sheet that I was using as reference for Cloud didn't have color. It was black and white. It's sketch. So I pulled up the Dissidia look, and I used that for the color. So what you see me doing now is that I've had the flag color put down on the character, and then I go over the flag color and I make a selection with the magic wand tool, and then once I have that selected, then I apply the color. Again, this is just so that I can just color freely without having to worry about coloring something else that's not part of it. So I really love the character designs from Tetsuya Nomura. I love his work, Kingdom Hearts, The World Ends With You. But I also like on the American side, one of my idols is Michael Turner from Witchblade, and one of my other big influences is Joe Madeira. So one of these days I'm going to do something on their work and put it up here. So I'm really happy of how this turned out. That soft pencil brush was delightful to use. That's the only way I can put it into words. It was delicious, and nothing. I enjoyed working on this. This was pretty much my Saturday. Worked on it all day, and now I'm just doing the video over it because it's easier to just talk over it after you're done working on it than talking while you're working on it. Because I think my thoughts would just get in the way of my work if I do that. And this is my first time also drawing Cloud, and I'm really happy with what I accomplished. And always use good references. Remember, a good photograph doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good reference. a good reference, you should be able to see like the body weight, the muscles, So that's what I used. I used an almost nude photo for reference, and then I just put the details from Cloud onto that body. So now that I'm done, I think I'm just adding details to the blade, some gleams, and then some gleams to the eyes now. And yeah, now let's do some background. So I wanted to give it some motion path over here for the blade. I think he's gonna like swing it, although I don't know how he's gonna swing that unless he swings it to the side and then upwards. And now I'm gonna try to recreate the meteor logo, the Final Fantasy logo comes with, the Final Fantasy VII logo has. I'm doing it all in gray so I can do an overlay with a gradient over it from the blending options. I use those blending options a lot. Mostly to take the white out of scan ink work, but for other stuff like for this. Now I added a shadow and trying to figure out a background. And this is almost done. Moving the stuff around a little bit. Make sure that all my layers are selected when I move them. Saved, and we are done. Thank you for sticking with me this far if you made it. And if not, that's okay too. So hopefully you enjoy that, and let me share with you some of the goodies that I have for Final Fantasy also, or related, like Birth by Sleep on the PSP, awesome game. I think it's one of my favorites. Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy 1, PSP. The World of Final Fantasy, super fun game. It's on the Vita, and you can also play it on the PlayStation TV and also on your PS4. There's a PS4 version of it. It's full of Final Fantasy Easter eggs and cameos from all over the Final Fantasy worlds, and also Sora is in it, and you can get it for free as DLC. So pick this up. Fun stuff. The greatest hits version of Final Fantasy VII. I don't have the original. I had to buy. I bought this at a pawn shop for like pennies. They didn't know. Well, it's not like it's going up in price or anything. The Japanese version of Final Fantasy Advent Children Complete. It comes in English dub too, so I went ahead and bought it when it first came out before it came out here. I couldn't wait. Plus, it has a really cool case, and comes in 2 discs. And it has the demo for the Final Fantasy Lightning Return that everybody hates. not Lightning Return, the Final Fantasy 13. Also, one of my favorite Final Fantasies, although it's a spin-off and it doesn't quite play like Final Fantasy game. Guy's score, great, and again, that heart-wrenching ending. The weird, creepy Final Fantasy in name only movie, which it was impressive back in 2001 when it came out. I mean, it has a really cool song, so that's that. And something that not many people talk about, Final Fantasy Unlimited series, which it feels a little incomplete when you finish it. I mean, it is, the whole thing is there, and what you want to watch this for is for the summons, which, let me show you a little bit. No, here. Let me show you a little bit here. Amazing stuff. Like, it's just amazing stuff. Like, wow. So that's the reason you want to watch it, for the summons, and that's pretty much it. And also for the Chocobo. The Chocobo on here is hilarious. But it's a fun show. It's a little light, so don't go in there with like big expectations. If you go watch Final Fantasy Unlimited, just lower your expectations a little bit. and just have fun with it. It's a very light show. It's funny. It has some action, but I wish there would be a game based on this, but there isn't. So it has cool characters and the summons. And that's all my Final Fantasy goodies. So yeah, hope you like this video. I had a lot of fun drawing Cloud. I spent basically the whole day on that. And yeah, please help me grow my channel. Share this with your friends and follow me if you like this video. I'll be doing more artwork related stuff, and later probably Kingdom Hearts or the Joe Madeira or Michael Turner stuff. Do it on my own way, but you know, doing like a fun tribute to their characters. So yeah, thank you for watching, and share with your friends, and follow me on these links right here. And if you're new, subscribe, put the little bell annotation so you know when I upload new stuff, and please share it with your friends so you can help my channel grow. Make my monster grow! Alright, thanks so much guys. Good night.